Kaley Cuoco, who played Penny on The Big Bang Theory, experienced a severe horseback riding accident that nearly resulted in the amputation of her leg. After her horse got spooked and fell on her, Cuoco signed a waiver allowing doctors to amputate her leg if necessary. Fortunately, she only suffered a compound fracture. Showrunner Chuck Lorre described this period as the darkest in the show's history and subsequently banned horseback riding for the cast to prevent future incidents. Remarkably, Cuoco recovered quickly, returning to the show after missing just 2 episodes and embracing her scars as a badge of resilience. "I heard all the cracking. It was my bones." The Big Bang Theory's Kaley Cuoco signed a waiver for doctors to cut off her leg after a freak accident. Horse riding is one of Kaley Cuoco's many hobbies that she engaged in during the early seasons of The Big Bang Theory. However, things went south after she accidentally fell off her horse while riding at a ranch in Los Angeles after it got spooked, which ended up falling in her leg. Speaking of the incident, showrunner Chuck Lorre deemed it the darkest period for the show. Although it took her a while to register that her leg was crushed, the aftermath of the accident required her to sign a waiver for potential amputation during surgery. Kaley Cuoco gave her doctor permission to amputate her leg if required. After she initially took the hit, Kaley Cuoco recalled that it felt like falling on a whole thing of leaves, even though she heard all of the bones cracking. It wasn't until a few seconds that she finally registered that it wasn't leaves but her bones. She said, "Via people. Because I heard all the cracking. It took me like 5 or 10 seconds to actually realize it wasn't just 400 leaves, it was my bones." Prior to heading for the surgery, Cuoco further signed a waiver to give doctors the permission to cut off her leg if required. Fortunately, it didn't come to that, as she only sustained a compound fracture, in which her tibia and fibula came out of her lower leg. However, it was not all doom and gloom for the actress, as Cuoco later embraced her scars from the accident, stressing that it made her feel like a badass. Chuck Lorre introduced a new set of rules after the accident. While, fortunately, the fall didn't cause any life-altering injuries to the flight attendant star, this didn't stop showrunner Chuck Lorre from taking some extra precautions moving forward. Lorre, who described this period as the darkest, most frightening time in all 12 years, stressed that it was a miracle that Cuoco came out just fine on the other side. But to prohibit this from happening again, the showrunner introduced a set of rules that the cast and crew had to follow, which involved no more horse riding. Following Kaley Cuoco's horseback riding injury, I've instituted new rules governing acceptable leisure activities for the cast of The Big Bang Theory. 1. No friggin' horses. This includes those found on merry-go-rounds and in front of supermarkets. Moreover, it didn't take her long to get back to playing Penny, as only 2 weeks after surgery, Cuoco regained the ability to walk and only missed out on 2 episodes of TBBT.